When we were kids, I said, I'll marry you. Now she's a queen and expects me to keep my promise. The royal hall of Velrith was nothing like the dusty meadows where two children once played. Marble pillars rose like trees, banners of deep crimson hung from vaulted ceilings, and rows of alien nobles in glimmering armor stood silent as a human soldier walked forward. Kale Ren, battle-worn unshaven, carried the scars of a decade-long war. He hadn't seen her in years, not since they were children, and he had promised, in jest, that one day he would marry her. Back then, she had been just Lyra, a mischievous alien girl with wild hair and laughter brighter than the twin suns overhead. Now, she sat on a throne of crystal, crowned and robed in power. Queen Lyra Velrith, and her first words when she saw him again, "You promise me." Childhood promise. 10 years ago, during the uneasy peace between their worlds, Kale had been stationed as part of a diplomatic escort. He'd found Lyra sneaking out of the palace gardens, curious about humans. She was younger, full of endless questions about the stars, about Earth, about why humans smiled so much. One evening, sitting under the twin moons, she had asked, "Do humans marry for love?" Sometimes, Kale said, "Why?" "Because I like you. If I were human, would you marry me?" He had laughed, ruffling her hair. "Sure, when we grow up, I'll marry you." They were just children. He thought she'd forget. The present. But she didn't forget. When Kale entered her throne room, Lyra's expression was unreadable. She dismissed her advisors with a wave of her hand, leaving only silence between them. "You really came back," she said softly, "after everything." "I didn't think you'd remember," Kale admitted, uneasy beneath her intense violet gaze. "I remembered every day," she whispered. "Through war, through exile, through the coronation. When I became queen, they wanted me to choose a consort for my people. But I waited for you." Kale's heart clenched. "Lyra, I was just a boy. I didn't think." "You promised, Kale." Her voice cracked, raw with years of longing. "Do you know what that meant to me? When the palace fell, when I was hiding from assassins, when I thought I'd die, I held on to your words." Between duty and desire, Kale wanted to deny it. He wanted to say he wasn't worthy, just a soldier, not a king. But as he looked at her, he saw the same girl from the meadows beneath the crown, her fierce spirit untouched by the burdens of rule. "I don't deserve you," he murmured. "Then earn me," Lyra replied, stepping down from her throne. "If you still mean those words, stand by me, not as a soldier, but as my equal." The choice. Outside the hall, the galaxy burned. Old enemies waited for her throne to falter. Marrying him would spark outrage among her council. But for Lyra, none of that mattered. "I loved you before I knew what love was," she confessed, standing close enough for him to feel her trembling. "And I still do." Kale reached for her hand, rough fingers meeting royal silk. "Then I'll keep my promise," he said quietly. "Not because I have to, but because I want to." Her eyes softened, tears glimmering like the stars above their childhood meadow. Ending. That night, whispers spread to the palace. The human hero, the alien queen, bound by a promise made under twin moons long ago. And though the galaxy was still fractured for the first time in years, hope bloomed. Hope that perhaps love could heal what war had broken.